Well, I wasn't expecting to make this video today. Tonight we are at Surbiton Raceway, but normally I would be on shift. But today, in the evening, one of the last sessions of the day, we had one of the locals come down to the track, and he was with his dad. He decided to race his dad, and after the first session, his dad got fed up because of how quick he was. So, after the race, I had a talk with his dad, and his dad said, "Oh, you can take my place." And I was just like, "Are you sure about that?" And he said, yeah, it's all good. So I clocked out, I paid for that session of the race, because I had to, basically. And yeah, I went on track with one of the suits, and I had my own helmet that day, luckily, with my camera. So, should be a fun race. On this evening, it was a pretty wet evening, I will admit. It's been raining for quite a while when I recorded this, so it wasn't too bad. When I went out on track, I knew it was going to be greasy, but I did not think it was going to be as greasy as it was. You can just see as I go through turn 1 and 2 that it is just really greasy and I'm just not used to it. Kart 1 is one of the quicker karts we have out there. Going through white tyre, I take it really wide, and I'm not able to catch the curbs because they're covered by the corners. Also at Surbiton, if you haven't noticed, in my previous videos, turn 1 is quite different than it used to be by the line. It is now covered up by barriers. It is not a proper curb. Going through the S again, we're taking a tighter line, and I'm just swinging the kart in, learning again. The S is actually quite far out tonight. We take a lot of curb through there. Normally through Surbiton you have to take a lot of curb through here, unless there are some dry lines on the outside, which I did figure out lately, that if you take a dry line on the outside, it is actually a lot quicker. Because I actually did a session, as I am recording this, on January 4th, that the outside line, when it's dry, is a lot better. Going through these corners again, I'm still learning the circuit. You can see the kart is just sliding absolutely everywhere. I have no sort of control of it at the moment, because I have not been on track at all that much. I only was out on track this morning when we got all the karts out, and at that time it was really wet. I mean really wet. It was raining the previous night and it had not had time to dry up. As you can see, the driver head is called Sid, by the way, if you guys don't know. He lets me pass so we can have a proper race, but the problem is this is going to be a theme for the whole of the session, that every time we let each other past, we just gap each other, and I don't know why. What happened was that when he got that out of the pits, when we went out the pits, he just gapped me immediately, and then as you saw, he let me pass. And now, as you'll see when I look back, he is nowhere to be seen, and that's because I have gapped him again. And I'm just like, how is this working? One time he is gapping me, and now I am gapping him. It didn't really make sense. I don't know if it was just like he was under pressure of trying to catch up to me, and when I was trying to catch up to him, I was definitely under pressure to trying to catch up to him and get a faster lap time. But yeah, it just didn't make much sense. Going through these corners, we are trying to take it, I'd say, quite tight through these corners, because I know, as I said earlier, you have to take some quite tight lines at Surbiton if you want to get a good wet weather lap time. And through there, taking lots of curb, you have to see. You'll see I take a lot of it there. Through there, the barrier there just knocks me to the side. Normally, I grab onto that so I can turn it in quite early, because you don't want to go on that outside going out of that corner, which is turn 5, I'm pretty sure, turn 6. I have no idea at this point. I've completely forgotten how many corners this track has, because we have small corners, big corners. Okay, I'm just yapping at this point. Anyway, going through the corner, we take a lot more curb than I thought I would. You can see back there that Sid is slowly starting to catch up again, but you'll see in a minute that I will just gap him. Going down the straight, we are taking quite a defensive line now. And wait, never mind. I'm actually letting Sid past. So now we are going to try have a battle. Well, at least try to. Because as you can see here, I already fuck it up and I just go really wide. Which I was not doing the previous laps. I don't know why I went wide there. But yeah, quite fun. Through these, I take very late corners. I don't know why. I was taking really late corners. Through here, I take a tighter line than Sid. I'm able to get a better line than him because that outside is absolutely deadly in the wet, especially when it's pouring it down. Going down the straight here, I know I have the top speed compared to Sid, so I try to use that to my advantage. Through here, we are braking quite a bit. I'm able to rotate the car and just get a bit closer to him. Throughout these corners, I take a lot more curb, but that actually slows me down because I took way too much. Through here, I take less curve than I did last time. I take more of a middle line and I brake and I rotate the kart and I'm able to just slightly catch up. You can see I am understeering a lot though. That is going to happen in these wet weather conditions. We are going down the straight. I'm trying to use that top speed advantage again. He takes quite a middle line. And then he is not able to rotate it as much as I am because I am able to stay on those red curbs. Throughout here, I take the right amount of curb and I'm right up his ass now. Going through these corners, he is actually braking later than me. He's braking earlier than me, I mean. And through here, I'm trying to capitalize on that, but I end up screwing up the braking again. I am able to get a slightly better exit than him, but that doesn't mean anything because he is able to get a better line throughout these last few corners. Going back into the S corner, which is turn 3, I take it pretty wide again. I'm not taking as much curb as I should have through there. Through here, I don't take as much curb either, so I have to brake and deal with the understeer. Throughout here, I take a lot of curb again. Through here, I'm kind of just like drifting it through, and I'm able to just get on the brake. And here, you can just see why that outside line is so deadly. You can just see I'm turning the kart fully, and it won't turn at all. That's why you need to keep quite an inside line. And now Sid has just gapped us, so honestly I've just got to wait until he lets me past again and then we can try have another battle. A few laps later I have just given up, I'll be honest, so I decided to just warm up my tyres a bit. I don't know why I was, because it was a bit useless on the wet weather, so I just slowed down and I decided to let Sid catch up to me a whole lap so we can try have a good race. But yeah, honestly, at this point, I don't know how he was able to gap me because I was trying to set good lap times. At the end of the race, you'll see that I did get a faster lap time than him, but still, it just wasn't helping. They had more consistency than me. But you know what? You just can't do much at the end of the day. So I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting for him to gap me. It's taking quite a while because it is a dry circuit. You can't just go flat out everywhere. If you go flat out everywhere, it would be a lot easier to catch up, but you do have to brake and go quite slowly into some corners. So yeah, I had quite a bit of waiting to do. As I look behind me, we can see that Sid is starting to catch up to me again. So I decide to speed up so we can have equal speed when he starts to arrive. You can already see I'm screwing up corners again because I've just going back into flow state. I exited flow state just so I could let him catch up. Here he is properly close to me, so I really speed up back to my normal race speed, and we are trying to get a race together. Throughout the session, it was only a 15-minute session, but still, throughout these we were able to get some good hot laps in, and we were able to get a good battle in at the end of the race. Finally, through these corners, he's properly catched up to me now because I was able to slow down a bit through the straight. I'm able to take these corners pretty well now. I don't know how I'm able to take the corners really well. It just must be some magic that I just pulled out my ass. But anyway, we are going through these corners and we are able to just keep a normal kind of racing line. I see behind me, he is kind of catching up again. He is behind me. I am thinking at this point if I should just let him past again and we try get a battle going. But I thought by then that there's not much left of the session, so I just keep on hot lapping. This is actually when I hit my fastest lap. So through here, we are drifting it through. I actually get some pretty good exits. I take a really not much of a curb line through there. I don't need to take much curb through there. Throughout these corners, I take quite a tight line. I'm able to drift it through, and I keep really close to the barriers, but I'm able to get really good exit. Throughout here, I take a good amount of curb, not too much, to the point where it'll damage the car. Throughout here, I take a lot of curb through there. I'm drifting it through. Through there, I take quite a wide line, but I darted it to the line, and I managed to get a 30.642. It is now the final laps of this session. Throughout these corners, Sid is right behind me. I mean, like, right behind me. Throughout the straight, I actually have to go for a defensive line. You can see him to the side of me. Throughout here, I do have the advantage, but I completely fuck it. I brake too late, and he is able to grab that inside line. I have to back out a bit, so I take it through there. Throughout these corners, he is ahead of me, but I remember he takes some corners slower than me. Throughout here, he is braking. I am not. Throughout here, I'm keeping it quite close. I keep it a bit tighter. I get a better exit, and I'm able to keep a tight line. Throughout here, I take that inside line. He goes quite wide, and I am able to take first place again. Throughout these corners, I'm staying quite defensive now. I had to brake a bit earlier through there. Throughout here, I go a bit wide though. I am able to keep it though, keep quite close to the curbs, help the curbs rotate me. I take a middle line, then take the normal racing line, take the normal curbs, and then as you can see, it is the checkered flag, the end of the race. The fastest lap was, as I said earlier, was a 30.642. Sid got a 30.8, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was actually a really, really good battle, and I very much enjoyed that. Yeah, but by how much?
Not by a lot. It was only
I know, bro.
Not a lot. He was most first, but then you came back up.
Yeah. Alright, that was actually really fun. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.